Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Let's Design Cities Skylines. This is episode 40 and we're taking a look at this awesome shots of Cedar Valley that make me wonder what the hell do we do in 40 episodes? I mean, I feel like there's still so much to do. Like we're barely scratching the surface of this huge series that we're currently working on. And this episode is going to be no exception. We're going to be building a nuclear power plant, but like for real. Because right now we do have 2 nuclear power plants and they're just like sitting in a corner tucked away. That will be no more. We're going to be really creating a huge facility. But before I get into the details of today's episode, let me talk to you a little bit about something huge and truly huge that happened just hours ago at the time of the release of this video. If you happen to be subscribed to Flox's channel, then you probably already know this. But if you haven't subscribed to Flox's channel yet, you will have to be subscribed. I'm sure you're going to love it because we're doing a collaboration together. We're working on the same map together with Fresh Popcorn. We're literally building a city together. We're going to be taking turns each week. We're going to be releasing a video on one of our channels. We're going to explain all of those details in Flux's video, so you should go check that out. It's pretty amazing. I'm so excited about that project. First episode, we're do a bit of a podcast and explain how the things are going to work, and you can also see how Flux pretty much made a custom map and a custom theme. It's just amazing all around. So make sure to check that out after this, and make sure to be subscribed to both Fresh Popcorn and Flux, because that way you will be notified next time a video comes out. My episode will be episode 3, and it should be out in about 2 weeks at the time of the release of this video. Okay, enough with that. Let me just show you what we're going to be working on today, because I feel like I've been talking for, well, like 2 minutes according to my recording software. Like I said, power plant, power facility. This is what we have right now, which sucks, like really sucks. We have these 2 power plants that I pretty much tucked away on a corner, hoping that nobody would notice. I don't think nobody actually did, because I never really show this on camera, at least this corner of the map. I'm going to pause the game to get a few more frames per second here. And basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to take use this canal that I made a while ago. I don't even remember why I did it. I think I wanted to like create some sort of irrigation canal and have farms in here. I'm not entirely sure how this whole area is going to play out. So for the time being, I'm going to use this as the, like a water source for cooling down the reactors. I have a lot of nuclear power plants references here, so especially Chernobyl, the town of Pripyat. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Those of you who are in the Ukraine, you can correct my spelling, please, in the comment section. That's very much appreciated. And yeah, we're going to be working on this huge area. I think the whole facility, I'm thinking, will take up this whole space. In fact, maybe even a little bit over the freeway as well, because we do need to get the power lines on the other side of the freeway and connect them somehow. Like you can see here, we have this power lines coming from the wind farm, which, by the way, I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to keep them there. I think they're costing us a lot more money than they're producing power. So I do want to have a bit of a wind farm, but this may not be the right location. I don't know if you remember this, but this was like episode 1 or 2. This was like our first source of power. Even lay down some like paths here to like keep them aligned. But I think this shall be no more. It kind of looks out of place. And also we need to like keep terraforming this whole area. I haven't done any work off camera between the last episode and this one, so nothing else to show you other than that. But before we get started, man, so many things I need to tell you. But this is also pretty mind blowing. This pretty much made my week and made me super happy, and it's gonna make Cedar Valley look amazing. There's a new mod out, so if you thought that the Don't Crash mod was good, just let me just show you, because this is something else. So. Are you familiar with the node editor mod? The mod where you just like press a button, you get a circle, and you can like raise things up and down. Well, some of you may notice if you've been on the Steam Workshop this last week, it was right on the homepage, a mod called Move It, and what it does is pretty much the same thing. So I can select a node by pressing the letter M. I think you can change the shortcut, but I still have it with the default one. So let's just say, let's grab this one, for example. So I can grab this node, and if I position the camera, I can just go up or down. And, you know, obviously you can raise it or lower it, and that's cool. But this mod does a few more things than that. So you can, let me rotate the camera. Thank you for saving the game right now. And you can like actually move the thing. Like seriously, you can like put it anywhere you want. Like, do you like it there? Cool. Done. Now, you see this thing moves independently of the pillar, but I can also independently move the pillar myself. So if I want it like, let's say you have a road down here and you want the thing to be like slightly off so that it's not sitting in the middle. In fact, you know what? By the way, another cool thing it has. Yes, you can undo things. There you go. I think I have a pillar right in the middle of a train track here. So let's say you have this pillar here, right? So what you can do is, let me position the camera. The thing is that it moves in a grid. So if I go forward with my arrow keys, by the way, that's what I'm doing. It goes in that direction. So you need to know exactly what you're doing. But let's say I just move it over there. Right click. And voila. Now the pillar is no longer sitting on my train tracks. All I had to do is just move that one thing. In fact, it doesn't end there. You can press M and raise it up. I know, I mean, obviously it's coming on the other side, but you get the idea, right? I mean, the possibilities are pretty much endless. And obviously, I think there's also a rotation. So if you do home, like for example, you can just rotate it like that. So now, let's say I want a pillar that is just parallel with the train tracks. I can just do that. If you hold Alt, it moves in smaller increments too. You can see all these little shortcuts will be in the description of the mod. I'm going to include the link in the description of this video. And isn't that amazing? What if I tell you that's not all? There's more to that. There's a lot more to that. So it turns out that this mod also works with props. So let's just, I don't know, this tree. And we're going to move this tree, you know, over there. And do you want to rotate the tree? Actually, I don't think you can rotate the tree nor raise it up or down. But that's good enough. Just being able to move it is good enough for me. And it also doesn't end there. It does a few more things. So, you know, this building, for example, this is a probable building, is the road maintenance. You can just select it. And you can also move this. I mean, seriously, you can just put it whatever you want. This one, you can rotate it. So let's say you want it like this. Then you right click and it's done. But there's more. You can grab a growable thing. Let's pick something up from, I don't know. Let's grab one of these houses. So let's just pick this house with M. And let me close this because we don't need it. And sure enough, I can move it anywhere I want. If you go for the growables, if you go too far away from the original, you know, area, you can also rotate it, by the way. It will despawn. So let's say, let me really force it. Wow. There we go. Okay, so now it did spawn, but now a new one will grow up because like the zoning underneath is still the same. So I mean, I highly encourage you to go check out this mod. It's life changing for the game. I mean, it just makes things way easier. Especially if you have like bridges or things like that. If you want to fine tune them so they look amazing, this you really need to get this mod. It's ridiculous. All right, enough with the chatter. Let's jump into building things. And I'm going to start by laying down some roads. We might have to relocate this train track a little bit because I think it's a little bit out of place. It's kind of running right through the middle. Also, another thing that I noticed is that we have a big valley here, like a big hole, and might have to flatten that out because one of the things that I wanted to do is have this canal come this way and then turn about 45 degrees and have a big pole. And another big thing that I was thinking is maybe we can move all these water treatment plants towards this side. And I don't know, that these things look a little bit too industrial, and I think they will, you know, benefit being right next to the nuclear power plants. So the first thing that I'm going to do is relocate our train tracks. I think we're going to start merging back again somewhere around here. I think this is the outer truck, by the way, the regional one. So we want to make sure that we don't mix them up. Let me get rid of this segment over here. That's probably enough. Now, wow, this was really, really deep. Interesting. I'm going to have to like flatten things out or smoothen things out a bit. I'm going to try to do quite a bit of work on camera on this one. We're definitely going to have some time lapses because, like I said, this is going to be a huge project. But always, to me, it's always fun to do things on camera, and we can talk about things like, you know, mods and how they work. Actually, I should probably get bsquiklehausen to like co-host one of these episodes so he can talk about mods. He's the one who made all these beautiful trains, by the way. You should get them. I'm gonna link in the description to his Steam workshop. He does some amazing assets, and he's obviously the one who made my Strictoastair planes. I advertise his things many times. I know I'm probably getting a little bit tiring for some of you, but it's okay. I love his assets, and I think he's doing some really good work. Okay, so let's grab. I guess I'll just go straight line here. We're gonna go all the way. Just want this to lock at 180 degrees, just so things are perfect. You know me. And in fact, you know what? I think I'm gonna go like this, and let's turn bending off. We're going to go 135, and we're going to go about 50 units. And we're going to extend it over there, and we're going to make this connection here. Get rid of that. So this will be the new... Wait, does that make sense? No, I want this to be parallel to this track. So let's make sure that that is right. There we go. Now it is. Into that, and into that. Perfect. All right, so let's get rid of some of these trees. Like so. Actually, we're going to have to get rid of all the trees first. But I do want to have like a really thick forest around the plant. So we'll work on that in a moment. I think I want to 15 units. Actually, that's 14. Perfect. 15 and 13, 16. So somewhere between. There we go. Perfect. You know, my old trick of getting the curvy things. Now, one thing that I think should be cool is, so we did some terraforming in the previous episode here, but what if we continue this hill a little bit forward and actually tunnel this curve under? I think that's going to make things look a little bit, you know, less fake, if you will, because this looks like, hey, like you just like terraform to fit your train track. So you know what? Let me actually, you know, do that. We're going to get rid of, I guess, that much. And we're going to grab this landscaping tool is much better than the other one that I'm using. Should probably get rid of the other one, to be honest. I don't really use it all that much. So we're going to do a little bit of a terraforming like so. Just trying to like contour this mountain. Maybe a little bit of a bigger brush and less strength. Smoothen out these edges. So like have really rugged textures on one side and not so much on the other. Because this otherwise looks like teeth. That's probably a bit too extreme. All right, we'll adjust it a little bit further once we are done with this connection. So what I want to do is just simply go into the... If it will snap. There we go. Okay, so it snapped there. And over here. And I think we want to force a tunnel. So hopefully that will do it. Whoa, that is a crazy tunnel. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, this totally didn't work. I mean, that looks... Okay, that's not too bad. Let's actually go into the underground mode for a second. Okay. And this is where move it comes in handy. So I can just do that and raise it up until, you know, there. And that pretty much does it. I think we can go a little bit higher. Cool. Now the question is, can I get a cool curve like from here? Like is that a thing that we can do? Or is it going to raise it up? It did. Wow, that like totally destroyed the thing. You know what? Give me a second. I'll fix this. Now, after doing some tweaking, I made it look awesome. And then I realized that we don't have a whole lot of room to extend the canal. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more of terraforming. And in this case, I am going to sort of contour the mountain so that it fits my needs and not the other way around. So I'm going to just flatten that thing over here. And this will be sort of the edge of this little pool that I think I'm going to do. So let me get rid of some of these trees first. Actually, let's get rid of everything because we want a clear space here to work with all the way up to there. No more trees. Fantastic. So let me grab the canal real quick because I do want to have like a little curve. I'm not sure how deep this canal is. I think it's the shallowest of them all. So what if I go... So 135 and about 30 units, I think it's okay. Oh, yeah, I needed to terraform this first, actually. Or I can lower it with the mod, but I think it's just faster if I do it this way. So we're going to do this, like so. There we go. And we're going to grab the canal tool again. And actually, we need to flatten things out a bit, further. So right about there. Cool. Let's grab the canal. And 135 is what I wanted, and we're gonna go all the way to 30, and that's perfect. Now here's another issue. So I want to have. Do we want to have keys? I think we're gonna use seawalls instead of keys for this. I think that might work better in what I'm trying to do. And that brings me to another thing because I want to start carrying the seawall right about here. So let's see if we can, well, first of all, we need to flatten this back to the edge of the canal right about there. And I definitely want to have a road that's just closer to this. So how does that look? I think that's close enough. Let's take a look and add one of these seawalls. So we grab 128, and that actually looks about right. So we're gonna have this it's gonna be a really deep canal, but I think the water level is high enough that will be right on the edge, and it's gonna look amazing. So this is kind of like what I'm using as a reference. Now let me do this for a moment. So we're gonna use this tool. We're going to lock it to, I guess 135 is accurate. We can go one more over there. And about that much. Cool. And this one could definitely be 128. I should have made this long enough, but I guess it's really not that big of a deal. So we're going to make this look awesome this way. And before I continue, I want to make sure that I can move this a little bit closer. It's going to be a little gap here, but it's okay. Don't tell anyone you saw that, or I will go to your house and say mean things to you. Not really, but you know what I mean. Just don't tell anyone. So we're going to put all these down, and this is already looking really epic. Right about there, and we're going to move you just a few tiles. Boom. Done and done. Let's grab this level. Just get rid of all of the ugliness. Holy crap, that is amazing. This is already looking so freaking epic. Let's make sure that everything else is done properly. Man, in fact, you know what? I might even do a second one of these. Just like branching out in a different direction. Maybe over in this side? Ooh, you know what? Let me think about it for a moment. Be right back. Okay, so slight change of plans. I was just, playing a little bit with the seawalls, and I realized that I wanted, something a little bit different. So I went for keys instead. I think we can get much more organic designs with using keys. And as you can see, I pretty much laid down a few of them, kind of outlining, the canals that I think are going to be needed for this construction. At the same time, I also want to move this sewage treatment plants. Are they treatment plants, actually? Yeah, water treatment plants. I want to put them over here. and we're gonna need a fifth one. So we only have 4 to pretty much cover the whole city. So I'm gonna probably put a couple here and a couple here, and that should hopefully take care of things. And at the same time, keep water flowing through all these canals. You notice here that I left a cut here. I might do, another one of those somewhere else, simply so that it doesn't look like a whole unique canal that kind of surrounds it, and it looks a little bit more like pools that are, filled specifically for a specific reason, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But the thing is, well, as you can probably tell, all the keys are kind of messed up, so it's going to take a little while before I fix all of them. And what better way to do that than on a time lapse? So let me cue up some music, and let's get started. I wish that I could give you like a bulletproof trick to get the keys looking right when you put them, right in the middle of the ground. The keys were originally programmed to be laying on the water, so thanks to the Key Anarchy mod by Blooded Penguin, you can put them anywhere you want, but you find this bug where the key kind of like freaks out and it doesn't know what to be aligned to. Like I said, I don't have a specific thing that you can do. What I found out is that if you keep terraforming and deleting the segment that you want, to face the other way, and do a little more terraforming and delete it again, and if you drag it from like a different direction, it usually gets it fixed, and you end up having it look the way you want it to. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now. It takes a little bit more time, but it works. So it's it's a little bit of a hassle, but not terribly so. And before I continue talking about the things that you're going to see on camera, there's a few topics that I want to touch on this commentary time lapse thing, on this like mini podcast. And one of them is Planet Coaster, because I've been getting a lot of questions about what's going on with the Planet Coaster series, because I haven't uploaded a video in several weeks. I've been answering many of these questions individually. So like for the people who like actually send me a comment or send me a tweet or a Facebook message, I've been replying to them. The thing that I'm about to say, which is I got a little bit bored from Planet Coaster right before Alpha 3 came out. I like the game a lot, and I want to keep playing it, but I just needed a break. And I guess the break was pretty long. And now, especially because, with Arrowhead Junction, and also I'm going to be gone out of town for like a long period of time, my schedule has gotten significantly worse, but I'm definitely going to come back to Planet Coaster at some point. I don't know exactly when. I'm not abandoning the series. In fact, I loaded the map on Alpha 3 and it works perfectly well, so I will definitely at least finish that theme park, maybe building another one in the future. There's a few other games that I want to play too, so that also doesn't help the case of continuing the Planet Coaster series, but I definitely want to finish what I started, so stay tuned for that, because it's going to happen at some point. Talking about me going out of town, for those of you who have been following my channel for quite some time, I'm sure at this point you know that every time I do that, usually at the end of the year by the holidays, I go back to Argentina, where I'm from, to visit the family, spend Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and I usually pre-record episodes during that period of time. So in about I think by episode 42, I'm thinking I'll start pre-recording this videos, because I'm gonna be gone in November all the way through January, and I want to try to keep my schedule the same way it is. Videos might be a little bit shorter, or there might be more time lapses than usual, but I still want to push videos weekly, at least Cities Skylines. And obviously Arrowhead Junction Arrowhead Junction is pretty much entirely pre-recorded, because this getting the scheduling right between Fresh Popcorn, Flux, and myself, it's a mess. It's really difficult. So we wanted to be a few episodes ahead of the videos that are being released, and hopefully we can keep that throughout November and December, all the way into January, and there should be no issues there. All right, let's see. Another thing that I wanted to chat about is an issue that I had during the recording of this episode, which is related to Surface Painter. I know Flux has had this problem just a few episodes ago, and it happened to me, like I loaded my latest save game and all of the surfaces that I painted with Surface Painter were gone. And I was like kind of freaking out a little bit because I didn't know what's going on. And I mean, it's a lot of work because it's not like me. It's not like I just paint like a whole block with cement and that's it. Like I usually like detail things really, really intensively. In fact, this ray layer that I'm working on right now on the screen, in a moment, you'll see how it all becomes like a mix of different textures to like create this awesome like detail patterns. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Luckily, I usually like on each one of these episodes, I usually have like 20 save games because I save pretty often. And thankfully, like I said, the save game before the last had like all the surfaces that I painted were still in good shape. So I was able to recover. Maybe I think I lost like maybe 15 minutes of work, which are part of this time lapse work that I did during that period of time. I then had to redone it on off camera, but it ended up looking pretty similar. So it's really, you really won't see a difference, anyways. The thing is that worries me a little bit because if that happens again, I mean, who knows how much time I would lose from lost work. That is something that really, really worries me. And I was about to post this on this issue on the workshop page for Bloody Penguin, because that's also one of his mods. And by the time I was going to do that, my internet went down. I've been having a ton of crazy problems with the internet for like a week and a half. Time Warner, which is my internet provider, was I don't know what the hell they're doing in my neighborhood, but there was an army of trucks like outside my door for like a week and a half. From like 7 p.m. to like 11 p.m. my internet will like drop in speed to like dial-up speeds, and it was like crazy. I mean, I have like 300 megs down and like 20 up in case you were wondering, but I couldn't even do anything. That's how bad it was. So it seems like this is actually the first night where it actually works. I'm excited about that. You have no idea how bad that feels. Like, in fact, I'm sure you have this feeling too, but like, I'd rather have no internet than slow internet. I feel like having slow internet is like a way worse thing, because it's like, oh, I still have internet, but it's so slow that I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting my time in front of the computer. Whereas if you don't have internet, you're like, okay, done. I need to go do something else. It's funny how that works. But in any case, that's hopefully that's being taken care of by my internet provider. And that brings me to another topic that I wanted to talk about, which is one-way tracks. So there's currently I'm using this mod called More Train Tracks that I've been told by several people actually that mod is like really, really fragile. And fragile in the sense that it's like pretty much a really badly done hack of the game. And this is one of the first mods that came out in the workshop, like real mods that came out in the workshop. Basically what it does, I don't know exactly technically how it works, but apparently what it does is like it duplicates the types of train tracks that you can plop. And instead of like just changing the skin of it, so that creates new elements in the game. And well, if for whatever reason the game or that mod stops working, or it's taken down from the workshop or whatever, pretty much all your train tracks disappear, which is not good. And I've heard that network skins that we use extensively to like add trees on the sides of roads or get rid of the lights and all that. That mod apparently it's about to be updated so that you can get rid of. I mean, the only reason why I'm using the More Train Tracks is to get rid of the cables, because most of the trains that I use are not electric. They're like diesel engines and so on. So, or they use like a third rail for power. So I've been told that network skins is hopefully soon. I don't know. There's never really an estimated date here. If you're the creator of network skins and you're watching this video, please release an updated version of network skins. I'm sure a lot of viewers from my channel will really like it. And I can't wait. And this brings me to what I was saying earlier, actually, which is that I got the one-way tracks mod. And I've been testing it kind of off camera a little bit, and it's so nice. It's really, really, really nice. That whole rail area that you see maybe to the right of the screen or to the top now on the screen. Yeah, I'm definitely not showing that on camera right now. There you go. That rail over there. That whole thing is gonna be part of the next episode most likely, where I'm going to do a lot of detailing. Because I really didn't have a whole lot of time to detail this one, but we're gonna come back to this, and I can't wait to start using the one-way tracks. The problem is that with the current mod, more train tracks, you can't remove the cables from the one-way tracks, so that's why I've been sort of avoiding it now. But I'd rather have cables and one-way tracks than not having cables at all. So that sometimes you just have to compromise a little bit, and hopefully that will be taken care of by Network Skin soon enough. That way I can get rid of more train tracks. The problem is that I have to replace every single segment that I plopped with more train tracks. So it's going to be a little bit of maintenance work over there, but it shouldn't be that bad. Let's talk about what you're seeing on the screen now for the first time. So as you may notice, I was putting down some of the power lines and the substations. And what I wanted to do is sort of combine the two nuclear power plants with some maintenance buildings. I've been using a lot of reference photos from Google Maps, like I said at the beginning of this video, but it's really hard finding the perfect asset, given all the buildings that we have. So I was trying to go for a similar look, and I ended up choosing this I think they're waste treatment plants that they look pretty generic and very industrial, but not super, they don't have smokestacks or things like that. So in my mind they totally work as the place where all the control panels are, and where the people work, offices and all that. In fact, at some point here in the time lapse, I will put down one of the Rico offices, which looks really, really nice in here. Obviously the building doesn't, I'm going to show you that later, but the building really doesn't like being in this area because it wants parks and bus stops and hospitals and universities and all that. So it keeps complaining about too few services. But whatever, we're going to ignore it just because it looks that much nicer. That's a problem that I'm having. This is the building, by the way, this one right here. I wanted to have a taller building that looks like offices for the company who manages this area. And I thought that was a perfect choice. So even with that problem, I decided to keep it. And obviously, as you can see, there's several warehouses pretty much all around. I wanted to create this massive facility that has multiple buildings and multiple areas. I noticed that most of the power plants that I've seen on Google Maps have that. They have areas, and they even have a ton of trees in between the different blocks here. So that's kind of the design that I was going for. And I think so far, even if it's not detailed at all, it's looking pretty amazing. Obviously, moving the sewage treatment plants to the canals with the quays made it so now the stain of polluted water, it's kind of coming from this two canals. It looks really, really funny. You might see it at the end of this video in the cinematics segment. But I think it just looks amazing. And the decals. Oh, I haven't talked about that, man. So there's this mod that also came out this week. This week has been really, really crazy. It's the Big Decals mod. If you're one of there's actually two authors. One, you need a core mod that allows you to render big decals, and then there's actually the decals themselves that you can subscribe to in the Steam Workshop. So if you're one of the creators of those, many thanks. I'm going to include the link in the description so you can get them. They're really, really awesome. They have skid marks. They have even puddles of water that reflect the the environment. So it looks really it looks basically wet. Man, so many things that you can do that. There's a dirt decal, grass decal, cracks decal. And these are the ones that they announced right, from the get-go. This is a brand new mod, by the way. So I'm sure it's only going to get better. And over here, what I'm doing is creating this facility that it's a police slash fire station combo. And I think it turned out really, really nice. I'm not 100% sure about the spacing between the different cars, but I don't know. I think it looks kind of nice. Might, go off camera and fix it a little bit. Maybe keep them a little bit more together, kind of like these cars that I'm putting here. But overall, I'm really, really happy. And in a moment now, you're going to start seeing the segment that I lost due to the surface painter. Yeah, so everything that I'm doing here, I pretty much had to do it again. Putting all the bushes around the fences. Ended up looking great both times, so I'm really not disappointed about that. It's just, a waste of time sometimes. But man, the fact that we can do all of this in this game is just mind-blowing to me. The level of detail that you can achieve here, it's truly outstanding. And I mean, all these mods that keep coming out, it's like, I feel like it just gets better and better every week. And makes me want to start a brand new city. And I guess that's one of the main reasons why we started Arrowhead Junction together with the Flux and Fresh, because man, we really wanted to try out all these mods from scratch. If I look back to like the previous neighborhoods that we did in Cedar Valley, man, I wanted to redo everything. But if we do that for every single mod that comes out, we'll be stuck here for years. And I mean, I have so many ideas for like other cities that I want to build too. So not that I'm not rushing Cedar Valley, but I would be lying if I told you that I don't want to start from scratch and and use all these cool assets and like redo every single neighborhood in Cedar Valley and start over. And man, yeah, that will be a lot of work for really not that much gain, unfortunately. But yeah, let me just let you enjoy the last few seconds of this time lapse, last few details that we're going to be adding to this facility, and I'll be back in just a second. And now it's probably a good time to slow things down and show you in detail the results of that time lapse that you just saw. I'm going to start right here with this little residential area. I've been giving this a lot of thought, and honestly, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think the transition here between industrial and full residential, having all these commercial buildings or this facilities right in the middle, together with the police station and the fire station. I'm going to go into detail here in a moment, but I think this fits very well. For the most part, this is going to be, like a workers' town. Especially serving, the people who work at the nuclear power plant and, of course, adjacent buildings here in the harbor. I'm definitely not going to extend this, this little suburb all the way over here. I think I'm going to try to keep this as empty as I can. And maybe we're going to start having our next urban area somewhere back here, maybe even back here on this corner. And for sure, continuing the city towards, the outskirts on this super flat area that we have back here. But for the most part, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me show you in detail how this looks, because there's so much detail going on here. So you can see we have this fences with the brick wall, with the gas station and the Arby's, and there's like a little clinic here too. And I mean, pretty much nothing else, just like clusters of trees throughout. And it looks really, really nice. I mean, even from here, you can see it's a nice landscape or a nice view to see. Obviously, this shoreline is a little bit, rough because it's still pretty much industrial. But I don't know, for some reason, this all makes sense to me and it fits rather well. We also have this jetty here that extends with all the new decals. To be honest, I'm not sure, and I'm going to ask you this because I'm probably going to make changes if you think I should for the next episode. I'm debating whether to keep this style or go for like the rock wall that we've been doing for several episodes now. I asked just a few minutes ago, actually, at the time of this recording was a few hours ago. I asked Flux what he thought. I showed him on Skype, and he was like actually really happy about this one. So for now, I'm just going to keep this design. But if it doesn't pan out, I'm going to go back to the rocks. The only problem with the rocks is that they despawn when you zoom out, which is kind of, not great. Going back to this little segment here, I built this off camera, unfortunately. I had a few issues recording this episode, but nothing too crazy, just me making bad decisions, I guess. With all the skid marks with the new decal mod, which is, man, that is a really pretty mod, and I'm sure it's going to get even better. All the maintenance vans. By the way, this is the road maintenance building. I added orange vans. These are not really the ones that spawn from this building, but I think it looks cool anyways. And over here we have our fire and police station combo. We haven't... there used to be like a police station here, like a tiny fire station, but I got rid of them. So I figured, hey, let's create like a big, security area. And I think it turned out pretty nice. In fact, these two buildings are stuck against each other, and they kind of fit the architecture theme. It feels like this one was like an old building from the harbor that was repurposed for police, and then this one was built a few years after, trying to like match it, and obviously with a much more simple design. So I still think they do fit. Especially this very rough industrial area, and I'm really happy. There's even one of these decals here that has like, yeah, there you go, you can see it there, maybe. It has reflections, so there's like a puddle water here, which is kind of funny and interesting. Now, you might have noticed that I also extended the rail yard here. We really need to come back here and do a lot of work. I mean, I have really old assets here. Look at all of this. I really need to get rid of these parking lots. I no longer like them, even though I made them and published them to the Steam Workshop. Yeah, a lot of people are subscribed to them. That's why I'm like afraid of taking them down. But now that we have all these tools and prop anarchy, all of that didn't exist back then. So this is the best that I could do with the tools at the time. But now I would never use any of these anymore. I just prefer to build everything custom. Now, another thing that I did off camera, which I really like, and I encourage you to go try it out. I'm going to pause the game as soon as the train comes by. But like you can see, the gates here are basically like ending at the middle of the in between the train tracks. And, the gates could be closed. Oh, there you go. The train is passing by. It's just awesome. I love how these feels, because if the gates close, this whole the perimeter of this facility is closed. And the train can just sit in here and live without issues. Obviously, we have things open because, the game doesn't really work that way. But I don't know. I thought it was a cool little design trick. I even did it here, too, in case you might be wondering, which also looks really cool. And finally, yes, the star of this episode, the nuclear power plant. As you can see, I mean, I tried to add as much detail as I could during this episode. Unfortunately, I mean, this is a huge project. Probably not as huge as the airport back here, but definitely a challenging endeavor. And we're obviously going to come back to this in the next episode and just complete all of the detail work that needs to be done. But as you can see, I try to mix things up with, the garbage buildings and even this office building here, which totally looks like the management area for a facility like this one. The problem is that they want services. This is like a super luxury tower thing, and they want the only way I could please them was if I put like a university, high school, elementary school, sauna, a hospital, and like the Eden Project all like in here. And that was the only way I can get them to be happy, which obviously is not going to happen. I'm not going to have schools and universities in the middle of my nuclear power plant. But I do really like how it looks. I really hope that someone would come out with like a mod or something where you can click on a building and like ignore, warnings or something like that. Ignore sick people, ignore too few services, and so forth. Ignore raw materials, and they will still work. But maybe I'm dreaming. I don't know. In any case, I'm really happy with this current layout. I know I changed it a lot, but I think this works great. There's a bit of a mix between organic roads and like more rigid grids, and I think stroken a good balance. I can't English today. A good balance. Combining those styles of layout. But yeah. Again, a lot of work that needs to be done here, and we're definitely going to be doing that in the next episode. But unfortunately, I'm running out of time for this one. So before I tell you all the things that you should do if you enjoy this one, I want to tell you to remember to go check out episode 1 of Arrowhead Junction, which is the collaboration series that we're doing together with Fresh Popcorn and Flux. I'm going to include the link in the description. Episode 1 is already out. At the time of this recording, it came out just a few hours ago. The reception has been amazing. Tons of comments. People are really, really hyped. And oh man, if you haven't seen it yet, you're in for a treat, because that's really something else, and it's only going to get better episode after episode. Remember, I'm going to be doing episode 3, so we're still 2 weeks away from that, but it's going to be amazing. This series is not going to be affected by that, like I probably said during the commentary in the time lapse, but yeah, it's all going to be amazing. And if you enjoy this one, finally, please go click the like button. That's very much appreciated. And also, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. That way you're notified next time one of these videos comes out. Finally, there's a link in the description to the full playlist in case you want to see everything from Cedar Valley from the very beginning to the massive nuclear facility that we're working on right now. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all that I have to say for now. I want to thank you all for watching. I really hope to see you on the next one.